All right, so here we are back once again, and we move on the 14th gate to the right angle cross of Contagion, and we start with the 1-3 profile. If you don't know how to respond, that power is going to get blown out all over the place, and that creates as many as confusion as it will permit. Because we're talking about the central system. Whenever you're dealing with the 14th gate and possession in great measure, you get to this very virulent, very funny line at the beginning. Money isn't everything. Now, the first line is hungry for power. Money isn't necessarily power. It can be, but it isn't necessary. And so many 114 ones try to pursue power through money and become disillusioned because wealth will only come to them through the power that is natural for them to respond. It's not the money that will allow them to retain and use the power of efficiently. 1-3 learn this the right way. But given the nature of the conditioning out of our environment, the 14th gate goes through the 1-3 process. That when you get out of that, there must be a way to make money. It becomes deeply material. The third line is material in its nature. They discover right away that the structures don't work. It's inefficient. Remember that this is the source of the energy that gives us our mutative direction in life. And then when we hear on the 14-1, we are on the right angle cross of contagion, and contagion is just that. Anything that is contagious is going to affect others. Being on this cross of contagion cannot help but affect others. Now you notice that I'm not talking about positive or negative effect. I'm just talking about effect. And in fact, in talking about the sun and in the 14, we're talking about impact. Every mutative gate has its opposition, a throat gate. And that throat gate is in the form principle that has to deal with it. The 14 has to deal with the 8. The 8 is the way in which we express the potential way for the expression of power is ultimately displayed. It's not the 31, it's not the 33. It can only be displayed properly through the 8. And you begin to see that the dilemma of the 8 is that the 8 can only affect others. It can properly. So it's the lust for lucre and the delusion that you can throw money at problems. These are the two dilemmas of the 1-3 of the cross. What you can see is that rather than seeing them life, it's about the ability to accumulate power. It all becomes about life, about the accumulating of material. And these are the people that are always crying that they never have enough. They're always crying that they never makes enough money, that they never paid what they're worth, and it all gets translated into money. The whole money class system is rooted in this line, and it's contagious, and money isn't everything. Now think about that as an expression. It isn't saying money is nothing. It isn't saying that money isn't important. It isn't saying that money isn't the root of power. It isn't saying any of that. It's just saying that it's not everything. And this becomes the dilemma of the 1-3. Money becomes everything. Every time they meet something that doesn't work, that doesn't right work for them, the assumption is with money it would work. It would grease the wheels of illusion. Everything would work fine. It would get into the rest, and if you pull it out of fin, maybe you could. In other words, there's always this sense that money is going to be the answer. Throw money at it. The more money, the more power. Well, yes and no. The relation of power is not rooted only in money. You cannot just hold on to power because you can't pay your body. Ask them now. One moment you're rich, and the next moment you're burned up into the hole somewhere in the middle of somewhere hiding. No, money isn't everything. So, whenever you look at individuality, wherever you look at a channel of individuality, whatever you're looking at is the potential display of mutated power. Empowerment is an impactful thing, which is why there is a natural resistance to individuality in the collective tribal realm. A natural resistance because it's an impactful thing. The one for never gets to learn the lesson that a 1-3 can. That is, the 1-3 raised correctly can recognize that money is useful, but not everything. But the 1-4 gets locked up into this whole material chain. Now, the interesting thing about that is that they develop the skills. Remember that this is a gate of powerful skills. They develop ways of using material that is creative. There are some people that can take very little money and build it into a lot of money. And there are some people giving a lot of money that can barely hold on to it. So when you're looking at a 1-4 on the cross, on the 14, you're looking at somebody that can really work with money. But again, money isn't everything. But that's not what these beings are going to feel because they're going to have this one track mindfulness of the 4. And they're going to have after all, we live in an illusion, and they're going the one-track mind is this, and they're going to have the built-in opportunism that always brings the four to the edge of the material. After all, we live in an illusion that has a material dimension, a deeply material dimension. Materialism is natural. It's natural and it's normal because we are in a material form in a material world. God bless the material girl, whenever she may be. The 1-4 is locked into this material all one-mindedness. They're the kind of people who will say to you, I know I can make money this way, even though everybody else is saying, excuse me. But this is, I know I can make money this way. And there's no three underneath to bring out the dilemmas and the problems. If you go to the 14, that's a 1-3. If you go to the 14, that's a 1-4. If I can present them both and the same proposal of 1-4 will focus on how do I make money this way. I'm doing this. So So the one comes in with this inherent pessimism and says, wait a minute. The 1-4 doesn't even deal with that. The 1-4 is only interested in, will this work? And it will work. This could be my track to get in there and I want to go, which is ultimately that 8, that expression into the throat. Fuck. What a confusion. So.